Rob Pelinka is the Laker GM, former agent, and star at the University of Michigan. The distinction of being the only person in school history to have been a member of 3 Final Four teams. Did win a championship, and Rob joins us now. Rob, how are you this morning?
Doing great, Dan. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I did a little research. Your career high at Michigan, you remember what it was and who it was against?
Are you talking my GPA career high, like Jalen Rose is always talking about, or my points in a game career high?
We can do both. Did you help pick up the GPA for the team when you were there with the Fab Five? Is that what you were saying?
That's what Chris Webber and Jalen Rose are always reminding me of. But I think, and gosh, if I'm taking out memory cells, remember in my career, that's probably not a good use of them. But I remember one time when the Fab Five was playing, one of the Fab Five members, Ray Jackson, was hurt, and Steve Fisher, our coach, inserted me into the starting lineup against the Ohio State Buckeyes. And I think I had, 17 maybe was my career high.
I got you at 16 points on January 16th against the Ohio State Buckeyes.
There you go.
Man, what a gunner. If you played Magic Johnson one-on-one right now, who wins?
Well, if we went out to the 3-point line, I was a floor spreader, so I think I can still, get him in extended 3-point shooting. But his post game is still unbelievable. He'd take me down there and throw that half hook shot he has on me and probably win 10-1.
Do you think that this is an aberration, or is it a pattern that, former agent, understanding the process, understanding salary cap, everything that went with it, dealing with high-end talent as well? Are we going to see more of this, do you think, with what you've been able to do? I know that the Golden State as well.
It's interesting. 20 years ago, when I was hired into the agent business, my first day, I remember walking into the office in Los Angeles at the sports agency, and I had my backpack on, and I, went back to the desk they had appointed for me, and in the corner was an intern they had hired that was playing basketball at UCLA. And, turns out that that's Bob Myers, who was the executive of the year with the Warriors. And so he and I worked closely together for 6 or 7 years. But to your point, Dan, I think just a clear understanding of the player's lens, what the superstars are looking for in terms of the franchise. And incredibly blessed to represent Kobe and James Harden and Kevin Durant. So just getting a sense of how those guys think, I think helps us now formulate, sort of our strategy for the future in terms of hopefully acquiring stars like that. And so I think it's really helpful.
He's Rob Pelinka, the Laker GM, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. If I'm a Lakers fan and I'm listening right now, let me in on the plan. What do you see time frame wise of when I can start to look at a playoff team in front of me?
I'll answer that through. It's interesting. So I have a 7-year-old daughter who loves sports and is interested in the Lakers, and we just came off of winning the NBA Summer League championship in Las Vegas. And I always, I say to my kids, I say, you've got to find success in the small details before you can in the big. And she said, she was like, Daddy, what's going on with the Lakers? What do you think about this team? And so I was trying to put it in terms that she would understand. And this was my story. I said, it's kind of like if you go on YouTube and, you think about Taylor Swift when she was 16 years old, maybe putting her first song, it's her guitar, it's her, it's in a little studio, and you watch it and you listen to it and you say, wow, this is going to be a special thing to follow and a really cool narrative to unfold. I have that sense about the Lakers, Dan. I mean, the way we're playing in Summer League, we have this young core of Lonzo Ball, Kuzma, Hart, and it's a pass-first system that Luke Walton has designed. I think in an era of guard play where it's score, if you look at the great point guards, it's score, score, score. I think we're switching now into a mode of pass, pass, pass. And so I think it's going to be a really cool phenomenon to watch unfold, and much like the trajectory of a young artist that develops. And then the final point is, Magic and I did a trade that allowed us to have double max cap room a July from now, so July 2018. So with our platform, we're really hopeful that we can add, maybe a superstar or two to this young core and have the best of both worlds.
I also want to know if you can give me full disclosure here. Now that the draft is over, you made your pick with Lonzo Ball, but who had a better workout, Markelle Fultz or Lonzo Ball?
It's interesting. That's a great question. So Lonzo is not a person of excuses. His dad raised him to perform and then let the chips fall. And we had taken him to dinner the night before his draft workout. It was Luke Walton and Magic and myself, and he was coughing the whole night, and it looked like he had picked up a pretty bad cold, but his agent never said anything about it. We just kind of went through the dinner, but you could tell he wasn't feeling well. And he came to his workout and was, kind of hacking coughs the whole time, and we found out afterwards that he had try to take some cough syrup to quell that. And as you know, when you take that, it slows you down and makes you feel kind of lazy. So it wasn't his best showing because of that. And circumstantially, you don't want to put too much weight into those workouts. It's a once in a moment thing. We looked at all the tape and everything, but Markelle and Lonzo, we both see as, future all-star type talents and both extraordinary players for sure.
I'll leave you with this. How close were you to getting Derrick Rose?
We had some really good meetings with Derrick and B.J. Armstrong. I think, coming out of those meetings, it was clear that Derrick felt like for this juncture in his career, he wanted a shot to win a title next year. He just wanted to be on a team that was chasing that. So I think that tilted the scales towards the Cavaliers, but it was a great process with him, and I think he's going to have a really, really strong year.
Is there one team you'll keep an eye on a little bit closer this year, aside from your team? But is there a team that you'll keep a closer eye on?
I think all 29 teams have to look, north of Los Angeles to the Bay Area and say, what can we do to crack that code? Because they've certainly got a dominant team. But I think you don't want to get caught up, Dan, in a storm of saying, okay, let's figure out a way to beat the Warriors now and then leverage your future. So we're really trying, carefully and strategically to kind of be good now and also make sure that we're really, really good, in the future. So our goal is to improve this year and just to kind of stay committed to excellence in every game and to compete. And, we're really excited about the future.
I was hoping you would have said Oklahoma City. That would have been like a great answer, but you didn't follow me down that path, Rob. Because that might be considered tampering or something.
The rules are pretty clear, and we want to follow those. But when it comes to any free agent, what I found as an agent, Dan, is the narratives change daily. In the NBA, it's more like a river than a pond. I mean, it's a flowing system, and you never know what's going to happen. So, for any franchise, I think the most important thing is just to stay open-minded to all the things that can change over the course of the season, and then be ready when an opportunity comes. And what'll be there for us in 12 months in terms of players, we'll just have to let all the different narratives around the NBA play out, and then on July 1st be ready to strike with our cap room.
Been an interesting start so far. Good luck. Thank you, Rob. We appreciate your time.
Always great to be on the show, Dan. Thanks for your time and for having me on.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.